Hey there, it's Tara Milo here, and this is going to be a quick one today because I kind of have a cold, and I think I caught a cold because I had such a great week last week, and not that I didn't deserve to have a great week, but you know, your body can't tell the difference between good and bad stress, and it was so great and so fun last week. Maybe my adrenaline was running too high or something, and my body was like, oh, we're stressed out, we better get sick and be put on the couch. So I got sick. I spent yesterday on the couch. I'll spend today on the couch. But I wanted to make a quick video about how to grow your list when you're just starting out. And so we'll get to that, but I learned last week that it's good to kind of hang out on your live videos for a while and let your audience grow and then really dive into the topic. So we'll do that a little bit here today. So last week was awesome because I had an Ask Me Anything webinar that went so great. It was so fun. We went an hour and a half because it was just so fun, and we had so many questions, and I just had a blast answering everybody's questions. So I'll have another live Ask Me Anything webinar tomorrow, which is Wednesday at noon Eastern, and that's part of my Ask Me Anything membership program, where people are a member and they pay $35 a month and they get to ask me anything, anytime. And we have a Facebook group so they can ask me anything and I get back to them within a day. So in addition to the monthly live group webinar, it's kind of like tech support. You know, you can ask me and I'll respond within the day. So that's Ask Me Anything membership, which has a webinar tomorrow. So I had that awesome webinar last week on Wednesday last week, and then on Friday, yep, I think it was Friday, I had just had enough with this Standing Rock protest and the oil pipeline going through. So I made a video on my personal page, a live video, and lots of people joined in, about things you can do to reduce your consumption of plastic, because plastic is made from oil. So we want to reduce our consumption of oil to send a message to these companies that we don't want oil pipelines going all across the United States and through major waterways like the Missouri River. So I made that video, and probably up to 200 people have seen it by now, and it was so fun. It just lit up my world to see that people care, you know? And I was able to give some really solid tips. So those were some amazing things, but I did that via Facebook Live video, and the video went like 20 minutes because people kept joining and then they kept having questions, and so it was really awesome. So I learned some things about Facebook Live video, and I might be doing a Facebook Live video challenge starting on Wednesday the 9th. I'm still kind of working that out, but I'll announce it tomorrow if I'm doing it. So so let me know in the comments if you want that, if you're curious about Facebook Live video, and if you want to get your feet wet in a safe space, in a group, and we all do it together, and before you go live in front of a big audience of your friends and family or potential clients, we can go live in a group setting where we're all really supportive and we're all gonna have each other's back. So that will be coming next week if I do that, which I probably will. Okay, so let's get to the topic of how to grow your list when you're just starting out. So a lot of my clients are health coaches or maybe life coaches or other kind of coachy fields. And the way to grow your email list and your following is to do live in-person events and to capture that low-hanging fruit. So those are two different things. So let's talk about those. So when I was a health coach, I did live in-person events. I did a lot of cooking demos, and I did some small group workshops. And one of my highest paying clients came from one of those small group workshops. She was on my list for 2 years She came to one of my workshops. It was one of my first ones, and there were like 3 people at this workshop. And she stayed on my email list for 2 years. And then she finally was like, okay, let's do it. Let's have a session. So we had a discovery session, and she signed up for my program, and she paid in full. So that little 3-person workshop ended up with a paid in full 90-day coaching client. It happened 2 years later, but it happened, and that's worth it, I think. So live in-person events. I did a lot of cooking demos, and a lot of them were free, and some of them were paid. So I would do cooking demos at the farmer's market, and anytime somebody came up to try my food, I said, sign up for my email list, sign up for my email list. And you might not know this, but I'm a huge introvert, so it's very scary for me to go and I actually like public speaking, but the one-on-one speaking makes me really nervous and kind of anxious. So it was really nice to have that thing to say to every person who came up, was like, here's what we're tasting, sign up for my email list. And I grew my email list from 12 people to about 500 people. Just by having those in-person events, cooking demos, and workshops and stuff like that. So have some local events. So that's number 1. And number 2 is go after the low-hanging fruit. You probably have some friends who are interested in your services or just support you as a person. You know, they just believe in you and they want to support you. So tell them what you're doing and ask them to share it with their friends. And that will help. That will help grow your list, because there's nothing better than social proof. So seeing it from their friend is going to really drive up your credibility. And they know you, so of course they're going to support you, right? Yeah, so all of those things, it's funny, I just caught myself doing something. Starting a sentence with, yeah, so. All of those things are really great reasons to go after that low-hanging fruit. And your friend might not be an ideal client, and that's great, that's perfect. But she can tell other people. And I know it's scary to tell your friends what you're doing, but they love you and they support you, and they're going to be excited for you. Some of them might be jealous or whatever, but you know, the good ones are going to be really supportive. And, oh yes, the other reason that you really want to tell your friends and ask them to share with their friends is because you have a mission in the world. You're here to help people, and if they don't know about you, then you're not helping them. So you kind of have an obligation to get your message out there, right? It's kind of your job to tell people that you can help them, because otherwise they won't know if you don't tell them. So job number 1 is to book some in-person local events and get people to sign up for your email list. And number 2 is to tell a friend and ask them to share with their friends. And of course you can do Facebook ads. But if you really, you know, you're just starting out, maybe you have a bit of a budget, you just invested in a course, grab that low-hanging fruit and tell somebody that you know and try to book some live in-person events. So I did cooking demos at a health food store. There's actually two chains of health food stores that I did cooking demos at. And I did them at the farmer's market. They always want to have cooking demos because you're demonstrating their product, you know, and getting people to taste the produce that the farmers are making for you, growing for you. I did it at yoga studios. That's a great place to do it. And I did one corporate event, so that was awesome. But yeah, just some of those. I'm sure you can brainstorm a bunch of places. One thing that I did was I made a list of friends, potential partners. Who's a friend? You know, is it a local radio station? Is it a yoga studio? And by friends, I mean we have a similar message or mission. Getting those words together. those are friends. They have a similar mission and a similar message as you. So you can partner up and provide that benefit to them. So good stuff. And if you have any ideas how you first grew your list, post them in the comments below. One thing I love to do is webinars, free webinars. So I had that one last week that was free, and I forgot the date, but in a couple weeks I'm going to do another webinar about all the free tools that you can use for your marketing. So that'll be a good webinar, and I will run Facebook ads for that one. So yeah. Okay, so comment down below, which one are you gonna do, and do you have any other ideas for growing your email list? And join me tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about what to do about Instagram spammers. You know, those people who comment on your post and their comment is totally irrelevant, and you're like, what are you doing? I have a solution for that. So join me tomorrow at probably around 10:30, and we'll talk about that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.